Hey, folks, morning, folks. How's everybody? I hope everybody is well. Black Dragon, and welcome to Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, we like to thank you for tuning in from wherever it is in the world uh, you happen to be. You know, and it's a great morning. Great morning. I'm Black Dragon. This is Black Dragon Biker TV. As I said, we come on Monday through Friday about 10 ish, somewhere between 10 a.m. and 10:20. I've never been like the most like punctual dude. Those who follow me for a while know this. Uh, but if you're not getting a lot of people telling me they're not getting the notifications. If you're not getting the notifications, we're on. We're here every day. So just make sure to look for us. We're going to be here every day. So I am good to see you guys this morning. As you know, we have a little bit different format. That's kind of cool that we're going to be doing. Getting kind of back to our roots. And doing some neat kinds of things like we used to do. It's good to see you guys all here. So we got a few letters. Where are my letters at this morning? Um, Actually, we've had them for a while. I just haven't done them before. Okay, so it's been a long time since we've done something like this, and it's kind of fun. Uh, so I've got a few letters from you guys, and we're going to be back answering these kind of things again, kind of get back towards the club view, living the biker club life. As you guys know, now we're still going to do biker news, but it's going to change. We're moving off of the very negative and divisive and the outlaw biker news, motorcycle clubs shooting motorcycle clubs, and people getting killed on the highway and all of this kind of stuff. Whenever we cover that kind of stuff, it just absolutely creates this huge thing. And to be honest with you, we're just moving on. I did this before. This is my second time actually retiring from that kind of news, and I did it before because I just really got tired of it. So today, story one, not story, but question one. As a full patch member of a national club, what does one do when they love their club but have issues with their chapter's leadership? Thanks, Uncle Luke. So that's interesting to me. Um, what comes after that question always is, should I quit the club? There's a lot of people out there that quit the club. And a lot of times it's because you don't like something somebody said or something somebody did. And oftentimes also it's because you don't like the leadership. If you're in a big national club, you get to see very mean and nasty things out of people. You get to see people do all, yeah, especially when you start watching the politics. So when I first joined a motorcycle club, when I was first a prospect, I had no idea about politics. Like the motorcycle club had no politics for me. I was a prospect, hang around, and I went to prospect, and man, for me, motorcycle clubbing was just so much fun. Riding the motorcycles with my brothers, racing, and oh my God, the women chasing the foxes. Oh, the chasing of the foxes, the run of the foxes. It was magnificent. I belonged to a big motorcycle club. Now, it wasn't a national motorcycle club at the time, but it was a big motorcycle club for the city that it was in. And it it um it was to belong to this motorcycle club. I belonged to an apex motorcycle club in the city. It was the baddest club in the city. It had the biggest reputation. It was the most well respected. Police didn't mess with them. These guys rode through the city like G's, um, cut off traffic, raced down the highway, and police wouldn't even, if you racing down 805 and you'd hop off, police might be chasing you. You hop off and that exit and head towards the club on Market Street, and they just keep on going. There was, it was, it was just, it was like being a rock star. It was like being a rock star. The kids waved at you as you rode down the highway, as you're riding up into a club. And it was a most amazing feeling. So as a young guy, I just did what the president said to do. There was no questions. There was no, oh, you're violating the bylaw. There was none of that because I was a kid in my 20s. I was in the Navy. So I believed that you followed the leadership. You did what the leadership said to do. You know, that's you followed the chain of command. You didn't ask a whole bunch of questions. This is how this was. And it never dawned on me then, because I was a kid, if somebody was stealing money from the club, I didn't know. I didn't care. I didn't even sit around in the meetings I probably wasn't even paying attention. We didn't have cell phones. I might have been looking at my pager when they were having the financial report or something like that. I didn't care. I paid my dues and I rode. But it gave me access to a life that I had never known before. I didn't grow up with any brothers. I wasn't going to meet my brothers for another 30 years. I didn't meet my brothers till I was almost 50 years old. Did I meet my brothers? So, I didn't have brothers, blood brothers. This gave me a life I never had before. So as I moved up through the years and got into leadership and stuff like that, that's when I began to see the very ugly side of motorcycling. And of motorcycling in a motorcycle club. And one of the things I got to see was just the naked aggression of people that want to take over and lead something, either A, that they're not qualified to lead, B, something that they've never had anything to do with building up, and C, something that they don't even have enough of the knowledge of the protocols and stuff that are necessary to run it. So how do they get elected and stuff like that? And some of the things that they do became to me like most amazing. Like, I'm not surprised at all of the vitriol and all of the us against them that we see in the politics in the United States of America right now. The Democrats are so bad. They're against America. The Republicans are so bad. They're against America. They're going to destroy our country. We paint devil horns on people. The reason I understand it is because I see it in the motorcycle club. I watch as we paint devil horns on people that don't see the same way we see things, or don't agree with us 100%, or don't see eye to eye. Just because a guy doesn't believe that I should have an AR-15, that doesn't make him anti-American. it does make him someone who doesn't see things my way. So I see this happening in motorcycle clubs. I see, and the most popular guy will be the person that wins out, regardless of his capacity to lead, regardless of, and this is why I often say in many places, and I know this is ugly from an American, but some people just don't deserve the right to vote because they vote over the wrong damn things. Oh, that's my best friend, I'm going to vote for him. The other thing I see is I see the divisiveness in how these folks will get in positions and get these folks around them and start rigging elections. And election rigging is always subtle. It's always subtle. It often comes in changing how people can vote, what people are qualified to vote, when people can vote. They don't, you very seldom see people actually change a ballot. What they change is who has access to the ballots. And so when you start seeing that kind of stuff, you start seeing um, wise-minded people. And then the next thing is, now that you've reached this, now that you've manipulated um, and gotten the popular folks together, and another thing they have to do is they have to reward their acolytes. They're the people that help them. Those people have to be rewarded. You see this in old British movies and stuff where the king takes over Ireland or something. But he's got to give the people, the dukes and stuff, he's got to give them lands and stuff. I remember that one Braveheart movie where the little leader or something had first dibs at your woman. You're getting ready to get married. He gets to sleep with her before you do. This kind of stuff that you have to do to empower the people that keep you empowered. You see that kind of stuff happening too. And a person with a smart mind gets to looking at all this. And then the next thing that they do is they start changing the rules. You start seeing the bylaws change. You start seeing folks go against the bylaws. You start seeing these kinds of things happening. You see things happen so they've got to silence people and all these kinds of things. So when you're in one of these kinds of clubs and you start looking at that, man, you get very, very angry, some of you guys. And that's when I get this kind of letter. As a full patch member of a national club, what does one do when they love their club but have issues with their chapter's leadership? And so this can be on a national basis or it can be on a chapter basis. And you love the club, but you just can't get with the get down, what's happening in the club. Big Man Chris says, I was in a club that had 5 presidents due to a clique of 5 running it into the ground, I think he's trying to say. I'm now a 1%er, and it's a huge difference. No one is above the patch, and everyone's vote counts. And it's just kind of amazing what Big Man Chris is talking about here. Forgive me, my throat's a little dry. I'm cheating. Motorhead, Motor Club, what's up, man? Over there in Brazil. Obrigado. Good to see you. It's been a while. So what Big Man Chris talks about is, very interesting. Some of the things I was telling you about. He said there's a huge difference. No one is above the patch. Not the leaders. Not anyone. And everyone's vote count. Everyone's vote counts. And that's important because in that level of club, um, the consequences can be different than what happens down in the 99% of ranks, when people do what we call MC effery. So the question is, the question becomes, what do I do? How do I get past this? Now, Shadow said, quit the club. No, take a break from it. Yes, until the next election cycle. Then help to change the leadership. Well, Shadow is just right on what I'm getting ready to talk about. Shadow is just right on with where I'm going. Uh, the idea here is a lot of those people are so damn temporary. See, you know whether you're club forever, forever club. You know if that's you. You know if you are club forever, forever club. Whatever club it is. A lot of these people are so damn temporary. Once they get their presidentship, rogue captaincy, sergeant at armsness, and they can't win another vote or something like that, they're going to dry up and fizzle away. You can outlast those people. You can also, as Shadow says, you can take a break. You can ask for it, depending on your club's bylaws. You can ask for a leave of absence, or you can fall to minimal participation. In my club, there's a minimal participation. You got to do this, and this. For instance, in your club, it might be you got to make 2 runs a year. You got to make 1 meeting a month. We have 2 meetings a month, or we have 4, or we have 3. You got to make at least 1 meeting a month. You got to make 2 mandatory runs a year. You got to, whatever those minimum levels of participation are. You can fall to the minimum level of participation. And in the Navy, you would see this, because in the Navy, and okay, so different rates, and a rate is your job. We call them NECs. At least when I was in, they could be called any damn thing now. And in the Army, I think it's an MOS. What is your MOS? That's what it used to be when I was back. That was now almost damn Jesus. I've been out now longer than I was in. Was it 30 years ago? Damn. So, damn, I'm old. So your job, and for us, it was an NEC, Navy Enlisted Code, MOS. I'm not sure. Military Operational Specialty. I don't know. But for me, I was a fire control technician, FTG. And that meant that I shot, it had not a damn thing to do with fire. Like, I wasn't a fireman. On a submarine, everybody is actually a fireman. Damage controlman, we are. Everybody on a submarine can fight a fire, or should be able to. If you can't, then you are a worthless slug. But everybody's able to do that. But you had a job, and my job was fire control. I shot missiles and torpedoes, and that sort of thing, nuclear missiles and all that. So, I didn't have to be very precise with the nuclear missile. You just had to get it on the continent, and it did what it was supposed to do. But depending on your job, it would depend on how long you were stationed somewhere. So you would be stationed at sea for maybe 4 years, and then on land for maybe 4 years. And so sea was called sea duty, land was called shore duty. And sea duty is very arduous. It's very tough, especially on a submarine. Back then, like now, they have women on them. So, hell, who wouldn't mind going out 6 months? That would be maybe kind of fun. But when you got to go out for 6 months with a bunch of damn dudes, bro, farting on each other and stuff, and they have this ugly thing they say about submariners. 120 men go out, 60 couples come back. That's very ugly. But now that they have women on submarines, dude, come on. But anyway, you would you so like some rates, like maybe a quartermaster, and some rates had it really sucked. Like if you were a quartermaster at some time, I remember you would go to sea for 5 years and only go to shore for 2 years, and you had a 5 and a 2 rotation. For us, I believe it was 4 and 4, and you like to have shore duty because that's when you get a regular job. You work from 9 to 5, and you go home every weekend. Pretty much. Other than that, you're out to sea and you're working all day and all night, and it sucks. But it's part of the game. And but the thing I wanted to point out here is that for that time, you might get a new leader in, a new division chief, division officer, leading petty officer, whatever that would be over you. And a new CO or whatever, and that person could really suck. And so now you got 3 years until you transfer off that submarine to another one, or to shore duty, or maybe you get to go to recruiter duty. And so you're going to do this several times over a 20-year career. Sometimes you're going to have the most incredible person to work with and work for, and sometimes you're going to have the most abominable person, I hope I said that word right, to work with, and all you want to do is get the hell away from them. But listen, man, I'm out of here in 2 years. So you bide your time. You bide your time. Mark Wilson said, yeah, get little cliques formed and a guy gets enough buddy votes to take over. If you vote for your buddy, you've wasted your vote, in my opinion. This is how I've seen a guy become a president in a club, put you on the path of self-destruction, especially when that guy doesn't have the chops to do the job. Somebody said, my house used to hate my political views. I live with all Democrats. If you live with all Democrats and you're the only Republican, it's surprising that you're still alive over there. What about Highlander? The elders taught you about who you are, and then there comes a time when you have to fight them and behead them, because the rule is there can be only one. And this happens in a lot of clubs. It does. So the final thing you can do is what Shadow talked about, and it's the thing I like the most. The thing I like the most is, if you don't like the club you're in, recruit the club you want. You could change the leadership with a vote, right? So recruit the kinds of people and educate and train them. And recruit the club you want. This is possible. Now, it's a little bit more difficult if you're talking about a national club. But if you're talking about within a chapter, but I've even seen guys who get so much popularity, so much that are so trusted or are so gregarious in their personality that they can actually influence entire segments of national clubs. And so, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm in my club and I love my club, like like uh like Uncle Lou said, if I love my club, I'm not leaving my club. I'm not giving my club up. Then I'm not letting you run me out of my club. I'm going to continue to work, continue to push, continue to recruit, and I'm going to do my damnedest to recruit your ass up out of here. Does that make sense? Motorhead, Lubis over in uh, uh, Brazil says, and he's in a club over in Brazil. He says, that's what I say. If you want your club to change, you should change. You should be the change you want to see in your club. I often say one man, one woman can make a difference. One person can make a difference. Be that person. You might not have any leadership, but people are watching, bro. And they're watching you. Take care, Alyssa, if you're still on. If you haven't left yet, have a good weekend. Deacon from my motorcycle club says, morning, Black Dragon. Not everyone is going to be happy. We can't please everyone. A president is only as good as the people around them. And this is, man, my club brother, he makes such a hell of a statement here. Sorry, my throat is dry this morning. Probably because I'm cheating and drinking a little Snapple apple. And I'm supposed to be drinking unsweet tea. So now I'm thirsty as hell. But my club brother says something so very important. He says, not everyone is going to be happy. We can't please everyone. A president is only as good as the people around them. So many times we set up our presidents for failure. And we don't set them up for success. And how do we miss setting them up for success? We're just so evil and so mean and so set against that person. Here's one of the hardest things to do. Support a president you didn't vote for. Support a president you don't like, or support a president with whom you basically intellectually disagree. For instance, if your president was a Democrat and you are a Republican, how do you support that guy? Happens in a motorcycle club. If this president was this way and you're that way and your clique is that way, and this president, he's friends with these guys, how do you support that guy? So you set that president up for failure. He never had a chance. So one thing a president has to be very good at is once you've won, now you have to consolidate power. And what you have to do is, especially if you were in a divisive election cycle, now you have to find a way to bring everybody back together on one sheet of music. You're not going to please everyone, but you have to please the majority because that's your job. Okay, Solo says dictatorships. We see it all the time. Dictatorships, how do we get away from them? We hold the president's feet to the fire of the bylaws. When you see the president step out of the... So here's how dictatorships survive. They survive because you sit quiet when you see bullshit happening in your club. When you see somebody not be done properly, when you see something improper, you say nothing. Here you are, an alpha male. I see more beta males in alpha male motorcycle clubs, even the big clubs. It's just easier to get along, to go along, to get along. You don't always want that fire on your butt. I'm the guy who's always standing out. It's tough. It's tough to be about right when everybody else will just sit around and be quiet. It's tough. That's the only way to get rid of a dictatorship, is to be the thorn in the side of, you can't do that. That's not in the bylaws. You did that without a vote. You can't do that. You did that to that guy over there without a trial. You can't do that. Oh, you got to hold their feet to the fire, or you're the problem. You see a club brother get dogged out by somebody that's overexerting their authority, and you sit quiet. You're the problem, not the dictator. The king who wore no clothes could march his ass around naked because these idiots wouldn't say nothing. Who was the problem? The naked dude? Or the idiot standing over there saying, yeah, man, those clothes look nice to me, bro. You guys know the story of the king who wore no clothes. These charlatans came to the castle and acted like they were clothing makers, and they got him to pay them to make him the most extravagant garments in all the land. But it was all fake. They were just standing up, moving their hands in the air like they were actually knitting something, but there was nothing there. And they told this man, these just some wonderful clothes, and he put them on, and he's naked as a jaybird, walking around, and his enablers, man, those threads, bro. I'm going to cry. Those threads are just nice threads. And this fool marches around the courtyard and brings everybody in to see his beautiful clothes, and he's naked as a jaybird. And some little kid says, in the middle of this big, huge pageantry where everybody's wearing their nicest garb and fat boys walking around naked, some kid says, but you're naked. Oh, he's embarrassed. He covers up. He runs and hides from the mouth of babes. Sometimes you got to be that babe. Hey, bro, you naked as a jaybird. What you doing is ugly. It ain't nice. It ain't right. Mikey Savage, you can tell a brother is all for the club when he makes every single thing that has to do with the club without being asked or being told. I've got a brother who recently rode thousands of miles out of the Topeka chapter. And I've watched this club brother make event after event after event, thousands of miles from his house. The round trip is just ridiculous. And we just look at those guys and we just like, that's a brother about the business of the club, man. That's a club brother. What if you have an MC where you have different opinions and you try to talk down the leadership all the time? That can ruin the club. So this is what you do, Lusk MC. This is what you do. I hope I'm saying that right. Luske. It could be Lusk, but I think it's Lusk MC. You don't participate. When someone's down talking, your president, your leadership, when someone's down talking, they got to have somebody to down talk to. When somebody's talking about a brother behind his back, they got to have an ear. No ear, no talk. When they want to make you that ear, you don't have to participate. One thing you can say, hey, Black Dragon is a dirty SOB. Really? Hold on a second. Hey, Black Dragon, hold on. Okay, everybody's on the phone now. What did you just say about Black Dragon? Woo! That takes the ear away. That lets a guy defend himself. That lets a guy that cuts down on the balderdash, if you will. T. Allen says I was ATF and damage control. That's one of my Navy bros. Did you go? Did you go to SW Swazi School in Damneck? Damneck. It should be DAMN. Damneck, Virginia, I believe it was. So you're asking T. Allen that. So those guys are the dudes who thought that they could find submarines. No, you couldn't. Deacon says I couldn't do a submarine. I don't do closed spaces. Listen, man, I don't do them anymore. Somebody said 13 weeks on at sea, you were ready to hit land and find the first piece of venison in vision range. Absolutely, man. Somebody's going to call me a push button. Oh boy, that's old Navy terminology. Holy moly. We're going back to old Navy terminology. Somebody called me a push button. Damn FC's pushing, button pushing GM. Wow, that's ugly. You guys going to be ugly this morning. Patrick says change takes time. Many people want immediate change and it doesn't work that way. So when we're talking about, delayed gratification, and we say that's a problem with kids in today's world and the young people we see in today's motorcycle clubs. Now, I wanted to make another point is one of the problems that you have now in motorcycle clubs is you don't have kids coming in. You don't have as many kids coming in as you have 50-year-olds coming in. So you got a 50-year-old that's been around the world 22 times, has been in the military, he's done this, he's done that, he's done the other, he's run companies, he's run organizations. He has much experience. To him, a motorcycle club is just figuring out another way to matriculate in another kind of world. And he's not trying to hear all your traditional garbage and this, that, and the other. He's not dumb. He's been here before. And those guys know how to influence people, how to win friends, how to manipulate. They know how to do these things. And so they can come in and question the leadership and turn the club upside down and create all kinds of chaos all by themselves, because you're not dealing with kids anymore. It's not like when I joined a motorcycle club and I did what the elder said. When an elder joins the motorcycle club, he may well be on the same level as the elders or may have done things way greater. He's sitting there looking, and I've seen this in the club many times. He's sitting there looking, why are you guys doing that? That's dumb. I run a security company. I have my own. I have 380 people working for me. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. So these are some of the things that we face. Tiala says, you have some members who never thought about stepping up to leadership, but have been pushed up by their mates. And they win elections, but are being ran by their mate and starting to make bad decisions because of pillow talk and can make a club fall straight down. And not just that get pushed up by their mates and they're being run by their mates, but also, T. Allen, that survive because of time. You were never nothing in the club. For 20 years, you never held one major office. And now that everybody's died off and retired and moved on or whatever, you're the one left and you're the president now. And you were never, ever, ever, ever supposed to be in that position. You outlasted everyone. And you were a poo butt then, and you're a poo butt president now. But who knows the difference? The story that you tell is a story that everyone believes because you were around. But we should be mature enough. We should be mature enough to look in the mirror just to make sure the issue isn't the man in the mirror. If it is, then make necessary adjustments. Man, I wish that people could look in the mirror and make the kind of adjustments that were right for the club. So, like I say, in this situation, nobody should be able to run you off your club. You can take a leave of absence. You can drop down to minimal participation, or you can start to recruit the club that you want and go about actively seeking change through direct positive measures. Nowhere in here did you hear me say, let's split the club. Nowhere in here do you hear me say, let's do nefarious things. I didn't say kill the president. I've seen that happen before. I didn't say any of that. I'm talking about working within the system. There are a lot of things you can do without the system. You can split the club. There's a lot of things you can do. And I've been there. Michael Iron Mike Hips. So Iron Mike says, don't jump ship till you've made it through an adjustment period, 3 or 4 months. Help turn the ship instead of jumping off of it, which is exactly what I just said. I like that. Clubs that run dictatorships usually end up doing the Julius Caesar method if their club is crumbling. So let's talk about that for a minute. One thing that really pleases me is when I see the jerk who screwed up the club get screwed by the club. Mm-hmm. Oh, that tastes great. What am I saying? I'm saying when you do all this stuff that you do to get to the top, you're teaching everyone around you how to be a rotten piece of garbage the same that you are. So then they get blown away when the club turns on them like they've turned on everybody around them. You taught all the people that followed you how to be a rotten piece of garbage. And they become what you taught them to be. Good morning, Sensei. It's hard to give absolute advice to a situation that you only know a part, isn't it? Thank you for talking about these things. Maybe this brother has had enough. Don't know the full situation. As the Bible says, as much as it, and then it disappears. So we don't know what the Bible said, but we're going to see if he continued it. It's hard to give advice when people, when you don't know the whole story. But a lot of this I've lived, so it ain't that hard. 78 watching, 24 likes. Listen, we got 117 watching on all of our platforms right now. So give us some more likes, will you? Black Dragon, any luck with any Tulsa clubs that may be good to check into? Did you hit me up at blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com? I'm surprised I didn't send you that phone number. I apologize. I'll make sure you get that phone number this morning. I do have a phone number for someone for you over there. So yeah, we know a lot of good clubs over there. 5 guys in the club was trash talking the leadership, and it ended up with a confrontation, and they left the club. If you are a sweet talker, you find that ear. But now it's nice to see the club back again. You know, great thing about sweet talkers is eventually they get found out. Why? Because they do that same shit to everybody. And eventually they get found out. Okay, next question of the morning. I've switched screens, so I'm looking at, okay. Hey, Black Dragon, your advice is always on point. I have another question, if you don't mind. Can or should civilians or 99 percenters ride side by side, or is that only an outlaw formation? Thank you, sir. Man, uh, so motorcycle clubbing was around for 100 years. Maybe that's a lot, but it was around for 100 years before there were so-called outlaw motorcycle clubs. So everything that they do when it comes to formation, patches, blah 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 blah, that came from motorcycle clubs. Riding in formation has been around since the beginning of motorcycle clubs. It's not some new thing that only one group or another is oh, that's only how outlaws ride. No, that's how disciplined motorcycle clubs ride. Motorcycle clubs that have practiced, motorcycle clubs where you trust your brother sitting next to you in a suicide formation, motorcycle clubs where a road captain is on his beeswax and there ain't no raggedy bikes riding in the formation that can fall over and take everybody out. Motorcycle clubs that trust each other, are disciplined, that practice together. These are motorcycle clubs that can ride in formation. 99% riding clubs, outlaw clubs, 1%, diamond 13s, whatever the case. Co-ed clubs, female clubs. The kind of club you are doesn't foretell the kind of riding you're going to do. That'd almost be like, well, if you're not a national club, you can't ride out of town. There are many single chapter clubs that ride all over the country. So if you want to ride in formation side by side, we call it suicide formation. If you want to ride like that, then you have to practice and get good and ride like that. Even in a club that rides the suicide formation, you'll find them riding staggered. And we have a sign that we do. Time to go staggered. The road's too skinny. Or, in my experience, when we're riding coast to coast or something like that, sometimes we'll really want to get down. So we'll throw that 2 up and we hit it, and everybody's 2x2, nut to butt, back tire to front tire, running 115 miles an hour. And you can run like that for about, a couple of hours before you start to get tired, especially like it's 110 degrees outside. So you start to get a little bit tired. And we're running from city to city, and we're running them gas tanks. I mean, you're all you're looking at is that tachometer. It's running way high because you're killing it so hard, and you're just watching that gas tank drain, and you're riding from gas station to gas station. You pull in, you don't even get off your motorcycle. We call that a gas and go. Pull in, throw the pumps in the bike, and then you're back out in the street. It's 115. You're dying. You're tired. Road captain will throw that sign up and everybody will spread out. So you're giving each other room. Safety first. But as soon as you get close to that town and people can see your MC rolling, you start coming close to that town, you're going to go 2x2. You might see them do it like this as well. So the guys in the back can see. It's a little more difficult to see that than it is to see that. You might see them do that too. And you're 2x2 now. And as we're riding through the town, through the city, as we're riding, as we're getting close to the town limits, You might see us 2x2 stacked hard, rolling 110, 115, rolling. Then as we get past the city and we're back out there on that humdrum, where you trying to, have you guys ever done that where you like you're trying to race to get to the next rain squall? It's so damn hot. You mostly see this west of Houston or west of Dallas, when the actual speed limit gets like this crazy, like 80, 85 or something like that. And you're like, oh my God, they really drive this fast over here? Because we don't get to do that on the East Coast. And as you're rolling, you're trying to run from rain squall to rain squall, hoping to God it'll rain on you, or you can get under some clouds where the temperature will drop 9 degrees and you're just rolling. And that's when you might see us stagger back out, because we're running hard and it's hot and you're tired. You might see us stagger back out at night when we're running so damn hard, and one little mistake could take the whole pack out. So riding in the pack like that requires practice, requires trust, confidence, faith, and professional motorcycling. And that's the part, for me, that's lots of fun. You know what I'm saying? Morning, brother Black Dragon. Right with your brothers for the good of the club. Sorted at the table. Pres Blinky T Bars Rally Club. Sorted at the table is such a wonderful thing. Sorted at the table means you don't sort it on the telephone talking behind people's backs. You don't sort it on the chat where people can talk crazy to each other, and you don't sort it on the pillow with your wife. If you got an issue, you sort it at the table with your brother. Good morning, Outlaw Preacher. Good to see you. Love you, Black Dragon. Old Sailor's got to have Old Sailor's Hill. Hellfighter Steve, you're in Nashville at Incom. Man, Incom is going on this weekend up in Nashville. So absolutely, man. You guys have some fun up there. So let's see. Fill up. Let's see. Fill up. I had to learn not to lean, LOL, on my test drives. True statement, and Squirrely. What's and Squirrely talking about? Sometimes they clean themselves. Okay, that's something. They're talking to each other. Okay, so now my next question for the morning is, this one is, let me see. Pull that up here. First of all, much love and respect. I'm a disabled combat veteran starting a one-piece veteran-only MC. We will never accept anyone with prior MC affiliations, also known as we won't farm. It'll take a year to get in our club. There will be no diamond, no territory, no rank tabs. Do we as veterans still need to ask permission from dominant clubs? And how do we go about it the best way? Like, what do we say? Okay, so wow. It's actually been a long time since I've talked about real like MC protocol kind of questions. So there is a way that clubs come into an area. Just because you're not wearing a rank, a tab, a rocker, or whatever, if you're forming up as a motorcycle club and you're riding, and you're going to be hanging out with places where there are motorcycle clubs, there's going to be an expectation of the region that you come into the region in the same way that everybody else comes in. Sometimes it's tough to swallow. People think, well, I'm a veteran, so I should be able to start a veteran club, and this is America, and I fought for America, and I can do my own thing. And you can. But it's not going to happen without problems that would not happen if you just go through the same thing everybody else goes through. Now, I'm not saying kiss nobody's butt. I'm not saying bow down to anybody, none of that. But if you want a smooth transition, you need to figure out how everybody in that area is coming in, and you need to come in the same way. That's respect. That's how you get your respect. You have to earn your way in anything you want to do. There are some guys that, hey, they can shoot free throws and all kind of stuff, and they can throw the ball and hit the basket backwards and everything like that. They still got to come in like everybody else comes in to get on the team. Other than that, you can have problems, and those problems can actually become, the problems can be so bad that they can become physical. Or no one might not ever say anything to you ever. Or maybe 3 or 4 years from now. But when it comes, it usually comes like hell. Now, if you're a group of guys that are going to get together and ride and have fun or whatever, no one cares about that. But the minute you start putting on tabs and or even if you don't have tabs, you got a universal symbol on your back, and you're riding side by side, and you're forming up like a motorcycle club, and then God help me, you guys always want to come to motorcycle club events like that, because really, you're a motorcycle club. That's really what you are. You're really a motorcycle club. As quiet as it's kept. And you want to hang out with us and do the things that we do. But for some reason, you just don't want to go through the things that motorcycle clubs go through. Because it's either beneath you, or you just don't want the BS or whatever. Get over yourself. Find out what it takes. What do I say, Black Dragon? How do we go about it? Well, I've got 1,000 videos on this platform. Black Dragon Biker TV, YouTube, Black Dragon Biker TV, Facebook. I've been doing this, my earlier videos probably would be a good place to start. But you have a COC in your area, some kind of organization. Ask questions, find out, do research, so that you will be safe to do what you're trying to do. So that was my 3 questions I decided to go about today. I hope you guys liked today's show. A little bit different than news readings. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think about it. Send me an email to blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com. I'm just checking out, trying to finish out these comments. We wrote information, but ride how your riding skill allows, and ride safely. Absolutely. That's part of it. Let's see. Oh, somebody said stuff will dehydrate you quick. It's happened to me in a few different times. You guys are talking about the 100-degree rides. Road conditions, weather, floating, or staggered, ride safe. Road conditions are definitely going to tell how you're going to ride that bike. Hellfighter Steve said he had a hell of a ride in the heat getting over to Nashville yesterday. I bet you did. It was hot as Hades out there. T. Allen said I had to pull the whole pack over and wet my wife down because her legs felt like they were on fire. So yes, I know about that 115-degree ride. Abso-freaking-lutely. Hellfighter Steve said his ride was brutal yesterday. Man, I know it was, man. I don't even envy you that. How important is it to know that everyone in your group is endorsed and insured? So depending on the kind of motorcycle club you have, it's one of the most important things to know. And another thing is who has felonies or not. Because one bad dude in a club can get everybody hemmed up, pulled over, bikes searched, and everything. So, like, if you know you got a felon in the club, you make sure that somebody else has his gun. You know what I'm saying? That he's not riding with a gun. He can get the whole club messed up. One bad guy in the club can get everybody, okay, we're going to search you all. So you want everybody to be as good as they can be, bro. And that's the road captain's job. And people that don't have like their license plates right and stuff like that, I'm not saying they're not going to get to ride, but like you put them in the middle of the pack. Like you put your worst people in the middle and everybody else right around them. You don't want that guy in the back flagging down traffic and blocking and his license plate's bad. Makes sense. John Wayne said, you still need permission. Contact the state confederation of clubs where you live. Google the website for your state. You should be able to find it. He's talking about our last question of the day. Never heard riding 2x2 called suicide. I've always called it peg to peg. Depending on where you're from. But for us all, it all means the same damn thing. Right? Regardless, whatever you want to start, you have to go to through the proper channels and understand the protocols that are laid down in that state. Good advice from everyone. And someone said, that's exactly why you get the book. Thank you, Dante. Appreciate that. Somebody else said, buy the books. my club brother said, buy the books. And we have the COC. So everybody's helping you out there with that question because they all want you to do well. Hey, honor and respect, Brother Snap. Honor and respect, Brother Goose. It's good to see my club brothers. Honor and respect, Brother Deacon from the Black Sabbath Nation. You guys make my heart soar when I see you, my club brothers on my show. It just makes me feel good to have that support. You just don't know. It just does. I feel there was one time, you guys know I wear cowboy hats, and there was just one time in Norfolk, Virginia at Military Circle. There used to be a mall over there called, I don't know, but it was in Military Circle. Maybe it was Military Circle Mall. Is it still there? How old is that mall now? Has that mall been demolished or built up? You guys in Norfolk, let me know. Like, is the Military Circle Mall still there? I mean, this had to be 30-something years ago. And it was like the biggest mall that you just went there for everything. And I was wearing this cowboy hat, and this African woman walks up to me. I had my best friend Solo. And she said, you look like a king on top of a cloud, on top of a mountain. And I was like, yeah! And my buds were like, why did she do that? You don't look like no damn king on top of no cloud, on top of any mountains. You're just a lowly E5 in the Navy. Stop it. Anyway, I might have been an E4 then, or maybe even an E3. You're lowly, bro. You're no king on top of a cloud on top of a mountain. But they wouldn't let that die. Every time, you know how you military dudes are. Every time something happened, oh, Mr. King on top of the cloud on top of the mountain. But I tell you what, when I see my club brothers on my channel, I do feel like a king on top of a cloud on top of a mountain. So there. Appreciate seeing you guys. Hellfighter Steve, man. I-24 was stopped. Hour to go, 10 miles and 98-degree heat. And that's when your motorcycle will shut down if you're riding them raggedy ass hogs. Right? They'll shut down on you, them air-cooled beasts. There's no air to cool them. That's why in California, it's legal to just ride between those cars. But on the East Coast, they will shoot you about that. Like, it's such a difference in riding. Like on the West Coast, there are no such things as traffic jams. You just ride between the cars. Yes, sir. You just ride on between them. But out here, like in Oklahoma, when I first tried that, them cowboys was trying to shoot a brother. Like, why don't you wait your turn? Wait your turn. This is okay, man. Okay, don't shoot me, cowboy. This is ridiculous. Where I come from, or where I've been stationed, we just ride on. But okay, you guys can get mad like that. Fine. Anyway, let's see. If you don't ask the 1%er, your clubhouse could burn, blow up, or anything could happen. I haven't seen a clubhouse burn down in a little while, but I suppose anything could happen. I fainted and fallen off the back of a bike due to heat. Fortunately, it was at a stoplight. Listen, I just put a video. I just put a picture up the other day. My worst day was riding to, and we made a patch for it called the Gates of Hell patch. And my worst day was 2011. The Midwest had the hottest heat spell it had had in 100 years. It was 115 degrees at night. At 1 o'clock in the morning, it was 115 degrees out in Oklahoma, Texas, and that sort of thing. And I rode across the country then, and I've got a picture of it. I got heat exhausted so badly that I had to pull my motorcycle off the road and sit. This was in Texas, going down to Ennis, Texas. I was like close to Dallas somewhere. And I had to pull my motorcycle off the side of the road and sit down on the ground underneath the motorcycle. That's where the shade was. There was no shade anywhere in Texas to be had. I had driven, when you say, well, maybe I should stop under that bridge. No, there'll be another one. No, not in Texas. Stop. Pull over, man. I looked down on that valley and there wasn't another bridge for as far as the eye could see. And I had to pull over and crawl underneath the bike. That, oh my God, that was hot. We called it the Gates of Hell patch, harder than the Gates of Hell. And now in order to get that patch in my motorcycle club, I think you have to ride through 5 states of 100 degrees or better, something like that. Probably what you did, Hellfighter Steve. That would have gotten you the Black Sabbath Gates of Hell patch, my friend. You are a Gates of Hell nomad, brother. Yes, sir. Get that patch. Hey, if you've ridden through 5 states, hell, I might even send you one. Thanks, Black Dragon. I always got to get a bad look or a little rebuttal from people when I ask those questions. Some people get offended. Weird. I'm going full on from now on, I think what you're saying. I'm going full on for on now. Not quite sure the last part. If you really want to know, follow Black Dragon, looks at his vids, read the books, and you'll have a lot of knowledge that you need. I'm all for that. Black Dragon, I think I saw you at the Harley Route 66 dealership in Tulsa. You were wearing a cowboy hat and a red shirt. Yes, that was me. You didn't come up and say nothing, man. Come up and say something to a brother. Brother Loki, I got one for Tulsa, so y'all would look. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Brother Loki, I got one for the Tulsa run, so y'all would look like Big Ennis and Little Ennis from Smokey and the Bandit. Man, now, so for the last question, John Wayne Goodsell says, why not join a veteran club that's already in existence? Hundreds of them are out there. Boy, that's a big question. You should go watch my video, 10 Reasons Not to Start a Motorcycle Club, and maybe that'll help you. Look at this, folks. We've actually gotten to the end of the comments. The one thing I love about California is lane splitting. Hey, I start lane splitting as soon as Phoenix, Arizona. I don't even wait till I get to California. I don't know if it's legal in Arizona, but I feel like I'm West Coast enough. I feel like I'm West Coast enough to start lane splitting. Like right when I get to like Arizona, the lane splitting is on. Some guys said I've had people try to hit me when I lane split. Yes, they will. Absolutely. Brian Thomas, man, it's gonna make me blush. As much progress as you've had in your life, you deserve to have a crown. Get skinny. Yes, sir. So this is it. The last comment. When I ran up on Black Dragon at Black Wall Street, he was super tired. And y'all don't mind if I sit and my club said cool because it was hot there. Damn it, it was hot, man. I shook 1,000 hands that day. But it was really, really, really cool. I'm more of a loner type my whole life. I have always liked doing my thing. I tried riding with a club and hated it. Stopped when I stop when I want to stop, go where I want to go, often with no plan. My question is concerning being alone and coming up on an obvious what? Coming up on an obvious you got to finish that out, man, so we can answer that question for you. Lubis over there in Brazil says, man, sometimes we just need to hear some words of wisdom. That's why this channel is great, and that's why I have so much respect for Black Dragon. Thank you, man. I wish everybody loved me. That would be cool. I was splitting in Maryland and Pennsylvania. Got to keep going. Hey, what's up? That's my brother, Super OG Dago Sumo. Been around, I think, since we were both prospects. Anyway, Nail Bags is going back to work. Nice 30-minute spot. Thanks for having me. Thank you guys for coming. So, hey, listen, this was our first show on our new format. We kept a lot of people on the show for, so maybe this is a cool format. We're going to do some neat things, man. We're going to have some people visiting. We're going to have some guests. I need your ideas for what you want to do on the show, what you want to see. This is your show, not mine. You guys are the boss. So please let me know at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. Cool. We will do some biker news. I mean, that's fun. It's always fun to talk about people and stories and situations. Please join us on our Discord. The link is in the description block below. We're still taking up funds for our club brothers and sisters. Black Sabbath MC North Shore chapter on GoFundMe. It's the Black Sabbath MC North Shore chapter fundraiser. Our online news magazine is still bikerliberty.com. We are located on IG, TikTok, Facebook, and here on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker TV is on daily. Look for daily content at least 10 o'clock in the morning, 10-ish, and so if you're not getting the notifications, that don't mean we ain't here, because we are. Order my books, Prospects Bible, Sergeant at Arms Bible, President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership, Prospects Bible, Sergeant at Arms Bible, you see them there, and the Social Club Bible. No, it's not. That's not here yet. This is Motorcycle Club Public Relations Officer's Bible. Order my books, man. We would appreciate it. You can get them on Amazon, Kindle, or your autographed copies on blackdragonsgear.com. Join our daily podcast. Our podcast is called The Dragon's Lair, L-A-I-R. That's here at the Dragon's Lair. I'm in the Dragon's Nest, but below is the Dragon's Lair for those of you who have been here. So it's a podcast that you can find on Amazon, or where can you find it? So yeah, Amazon Prime has it. You can get it on iTunes. Google Podcast has it. Every place you get your podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. I'm in all those places. And this is what it looks like. This is my podcast platform. As you can see, it's just a podcast in a way. So check us out. You can download these stories and listen to them there on the podcast. We have a Discord server. Please join our Discord server. The description is in the description box below, the URL to join the podcast. And once again, you can get a hold of me at blackdragon at blacksabbathmc.com. All right, that's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in. We'll check you out. Oh, and Sundays. Did I not tell you guys? Sundays is our roundtable. This Sunday, we kind of got the band back together a little bit. I know some of you guys are going to be like, really, Black Dragon? But yes, I'm going to be on with Danny D'Lo and Hollywood this Sunday. It's going to be interesting. And you'll see the thing go up today that'll let you know what time. I think it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern, I think is what it's going to be. And we're going to be talking about a topic, snitching. And is snitching ever okay? Is it ever actually okay to call the police in respect to a motorcycle club? And is it ever okay to actually snitch on somebody in a motorcycle club? Are there ways, are there protocols, is there anything that actually allows that? And this is based on a story that Hollywood has been following. So we're going to check that out and see what happens, right? All right. I'm Black Dragon, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. You guys have a great day, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.